This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
I was going to say, I can't remember who I was talking to, although I feel like I'm saying it to everybody. Can you believe it's October already?
No, I cannot. I know. We just sent out a commercial. We started running a commercial talking about, can you believe the year's almost up?
Yep.
It's mind-blowing.
Yep.
When you think about how fast time...
And every year we have this same conversation. And I know. Every year it goes by faster and faster.
Like, why are we still surprised?
Huh?
It's crazy.
You'd think at this point in life we'd figure it out. The messaging, though, we were talking about, if you're listening to us on the radio station, you might have heard a commercial for Brandon talking about how it is the end of the year. If this was the year you were planning on getting your finances in order, don't panic. Don't also feel down on yourself. There is, in fact, still time to take action, to do things now.
I mean, a lot of people, I feel like, when we're trying to just get through the week, like depending on what you have going on, your life, it never slows down. And you might be like, Brandon, are you kidding me? I cannot plan for retirement right now. I'm trying to get to the weekend.
Right.
Finally I'm here, you rest, and now here's the next week. So let's take some time, come up for air. Let's call time out. That's what I love to do with clients is really help them say, okay, with where we're at, and here's our timeline that we're talking about. If you hold me to a timeline, here's what I would say. Well, let's see how things look, and then we go from there. So let me just encourage people, let's take a minute. You're listening to the show or the podcast. You're doing great. Let's take it one more step.
Yeah. And take action. Reaching out to Brandon and his team. Because that's the other thing also is that a lot of people might put it off because they feel like it's intimidating. You just said, Brandon, I don't have time to be worrying about these things. I'm just trying to make it to the weekend. And then the holidays are going to hit. I'm just trying to make it through the holidays. But that's why Brandon and his team do what they do, because they are here to help you, to take a lot of the load off, to really simplify the process for you. Just have a couple conversations with you in the beginning. They're the ones that do the hard work for you when it comes to all the financial planning and retirement planning, everything that's involved with that. So if you are ready to get some things done before the end of the year, we're here for you. Let's start that conversation. Again, that number, 843-890-2400, or go to bowenwealth.com. It brings me to this first conversation I wanted to have with you, Brandon. This survey, I was shooketh by these numbers that they were talking about. So many of us do. We do it to ourselves. You think to yourself, if you're in that 55, 60, 65 range, you're like, well, I'm going to work a few more years before I retire. Hear this. This survey done by Transamerica found that 60% of us actually don't make it to that date that we had planned to retire. We retire earlier due to things, mostly it's a cause of a loss of employment or a health issue, not just with yourself, but the health issue of a spouse or your parents are causing you to retire sooner than you had planned to. On the flip side of that, Brandon, only 20%, just 20% say that they retired because they had their finances in place. And while you might not feel the urgency to sit down and plan out the details, the so many details that are involved in a retirement plan, it's a good reminder for us to get a jump on it, is it not?
It is. Yeah. And I think everyone knows that answer, knows that, sure, okay, that's a good idea. But why do we think people procrastinate? And I don't really know the answer. So I'm kind of wondering out loud here if we're getting older, right? I mean, nobody likes to think about that. We're getting older. Yeah. Now, there's plenty of positives to retirement with, spending time with your kids and grandkids and things like that, and doing your hobbies, the things that you love to do that bring you energy and joy and excitement. But a lot of people just don't plan out retirement. They just think they've got more time, or even like, well, Brandon, I hear this a lot. I'm just going to pull out 5%. And if I keep averaging my 7 or 8, 9%, I'm just going to pull out the gains. I'll be fine. And it's like, why would you want to chance something so important? And I think of maybe the biggest vacation I've ever taken. Heather, can you think of the biggest vacation ever that maybe you and Kyle have gone on?
Biggest or most expensive? Biggest vacation, right? It kind of. When my mom and I went to Africa together, we did an Africa safari. That was right before Kyle and I got engaged. And then a few years later, Kyle and I took both of our parents we didn't take them. We all went together on one of those European river cruises. And so within about a 5-year time period, I took 2 really big trips at a young age. I was grateful to be able to do such adventures.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody could probably share. They can think back, oh yeah, that was the wherever trip. But what I'm getting at is, okay, well, when you were pre-trip, right, you probably planned everything out, right? I mean, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going for a month over there or 2 weeks, to a certain place. Mm-hmm. When you started thinking about it, maybe it was a year prior or whatever, you're like, okay, when's the best time to go? How am I going to get there? What's the cost for the transportation? And then my lodging, all the expenses that are while you're over there. And then I got to get back and all this. Okay, now do I have enough money to cover this trip?
Yeah, for the trip to Africa, my mom and I planned for 2 years because I had to save. It took us that long to save. It's an expensive trip. Yeah.
Yes. So you're planning all of these details. And a lot of times we've planned much more for vacations than we have for retirement. Mm-hmm. We haven't sat down and said, okay, how long am I going to live? Well, we don't know that. Nobody knows. So we've got to plan on a long time. Yeah. We've got to plan on making it into our 90s or 100, 30, 40 years of retirement because you might, last that long. Mm-hmm. Okay, what are we going to be spending? What are our expenses and how much have we saved and where are our income streams coming? So there's so many things that go into this. And what I want people to hear right now and understand is that, okay, even if your retirement date is not till 65, because I can start Medicare then, Brandon, or if it's, 62 or whatever that date, even if you're 5 years from this date, let's meet. Let's talk, pick up the phone, right? Pick up the phone. And if you know that is you right now, and you've been putting this off and it's something that it's like a chore or a task that I know that I need to get done, like this colonoscopy. I know retirement planning is different than colonoscopies.
It's not as bad as the colonoscopy. The planning process with Bowen Wealth. It's a lot less painful.
But I'm saying I've been putting it off. Okay, I'm being as real as anyone you've listened to on the radio. Mm-hmm. So quit putting it off, right? Yeah. And come in, and it's going to be much more pleasant, where we can sit down and take a look at this. And in fact, I've got a client that came in 2 years ago. And if you travel a bit, you might have even met him because he works at the Charleston airport. Okay.
Oh, wow.
If you've flown American Airlines, he is there used to be there a lot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Uh-huh. So he was there a lot, checking people in, and he'd work the gate. A lot of people are only Delta. Some people are only American. I don't care. I just want to, the lowest rate,
That's
the most direct route.
That's right.
Right. So anyway, he came in and they had saved about $700,000.
Wow.
And he was like, Brandon, I want to work for, maybe a couple more years. And then retire, right? That's our plan. But so I want to put this thing together. I don't want to be running around stressful, worried about like if the market's crashing or if a health issue has popped up or what, things are great right now. Things are great, but I want to put this plan together. I don't want to keep putting it off. And so we did. We sat down. We had 3 meetings over the course of I think 2 months.
Okay.
And we sat down, we built that income plan. We started with that. I showed him. We went through all of his income sources. He had saved, like I said, $700,000. He did not have a pension. And so he wanted to add a little more protected income to their plan, him and his wife. And so we did that. We built that income plan, nice and defensive. Then we reduced his risk in the stock market. Okay. Because he was like, Brandon, 2022 was a fresh reminder of what can happen if we have an avalanche or a bear market, an extended one, what could happen. And, and so he knew all the right answers, and he was just so wise and so proactive to come in and talk to me. And then we've got a tax plan in place, right? So we did all that, like I said, about a year and a half ago. Well, The last time he came in for an annual meeting, he sat down and he was like, Brandon, here at the end of 2025, we've decided, my wife and I, we're young and we can travel for free. I was like, I know.
That's right. The airline connection. Nice.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's like the perfect setup, right? And he's like, we've got so many places that we want to go and we can just fly standby on for the rest of my life. And,
That's
and I'm
amazing.
like, yes, it's so good. Makes you want to work to get that same perk, work part. So he's like, Brandon, we want to, because I don't hate my job. I meet so many interesting people, and he tells me about, I saw so-and-so and all the name dropping all these famous people coming through Charleston. And he's like, I want to work part-time just to give me, a few things to do.
Yeah.
But we want to travel. We want to get out there, start going places. We feel good. We're looking good. They want to get out there and go to all these places like Peru, places that you're like, what? That's never been on my list. But if you can fly for free, why not?
That's right. That's right.
So for them, because we had put that plan into place earlier, when he came in, he was like, hey, Brandon, we just want to press play. We want to start receiving some of this income. We want to step back at work there and start transitioning into this because, like that study was saying, a lot of times people, it's forced upon them early, right?
Yeah.
It's forced upon them. Maybe it's a downsizing at work. We're going to move in a different direction. Is code for we're giving it to a younger person. Kind of thing.
That will work for half of the salary that you make.
Yes,
That's a reality.
They can hire 3 people for what we're paying you.
Yep.
Or a health issue, things like that. And that is one thing that has been a fresh reminder with everything going on in our world is that time is the most precious commodity that we have. We're not guaranteed. You could ask, Warren Buffett, right? I mean, he's still alive, of course, but the amount of money that some people have, that it can't buy them more time, right? We're given a certain amount of time here. And I want you, if what you've done, if what you've saved, if you've done enough and you can retire maybe 6 months or a year, even 2 years sooner, then why would we not want to go ahead and put that plan into place now so that you could potentially retire sooner or retire on your terms?
Yeah.
So that's what I want to offer right now to you listening. If you save $500,000 or more and you know that you need this retirement game plan, you've been putting it off way too long. It's time to put this plan into place so you can have that peace of mind. What you're missing and what you're desiring is what I call our retirement game plan. It is a blueprint with specific dates in there, amounts. It's customized to you and your goals. It's yours. It's based on you and your current age, all of your goals. It's something that we can update every time you come in. And I want to provide that for you. If you've saved $500,000 or more, pick up the phone right now. My phone number is 843-890-2400.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.